I hope you all had a great weekend.
We did.
He did.
Ah,
We mostly sat on the couch here and did nothing.
played some Super Nintendo games, played through Oxenfree and gone home.
And then all of yesterday we watched Tremors. We watched all 5 movies.
This only has 4 of them, which is apparently all 4 movies whenever this came out. But the 5th one did come out 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know when this came out.
Couldn't find a date.
2013?
Makes sense.
Anywho, yes, this is the first 4 movies.
And they look lovely on Blu-ray.
Yeah, they were actually pretty good. The discs are boring.
Yes, the discs are super boring. Just blue to indicate that they're Blu-rays, just in case you were like, are these DVDs or Blu-rays? Well, everything is blue. I guess they're Blu-rays.
Anywho, if you don't know what Tremors are, it's about a town named Perfection in Nevada, and all of a sudden people are dying, mysterious causes, and it's groundworms.
Whereas I would have gone with, if you don't know what Tremors is, where have you been for all of America? All of it.
Don't be mean. Don't be mean.
But there's still time to save yourself and watch Tremors.
Yes, watch Tremors. The first one has Kevin Bacon in it, but they could not afford to get him back for the rest of them, so...
Yeah, his character's pretty enjoyable, but we all know that Burt Gummer is the real star of the show, Michael Gross.
Yes, he pretty much does become the star. He's a side character in... Well, not even a side... He's like a little character in the first movie. He's a side character in the second movie. Then he's the lead character in the third, technically fourth, and fifth movies.
He's that way too prepared survivalist gun nut, lives up on the hill, thinks the government's coming for him type of guy.
Yeah.
But he's lovable.
He's adorable. I do love him. And, yeah, it just keeps getting more and more outrageous as it goes. Their budget gets smaller with every movie, so they just make do with what they can. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and being monster movies, they're always trying to surprise you with what the monsters can do, mostly evolving and changing and learning things.
Yes, since in the first one, the graboid, which is what they're called, is a worm-like thing. It opens its three-pronged mouth. It's like one top and 2 bottom, and then 3 tongues come out and will get you. In the second movie, this thing will come up on the surface and start making the most hideous sounds, like cats fighting. And
it has a litter of kittens.
Yeah, they call them shriekers, will come out, and they are bipedal and they walk around. And then if you let those sit around for too long, they shed their skin and they learn how to kind of fly. They don't fly, they glide.
They fall with style.
Yes, they're called ass blasters. And then in the fourth movie, we find out that before the worms are big, they start out small and can like launch out of the ground.
Yes, the fourth movie is a prequel from the 1800s.
And then the fifth movie just kind of goes off the rails and is like, new evolution of species.
Yep.
They now have lots of gnashy teeth.
Yes, they have an African variety of the graboids, and as they like to make fun of themselves, everything in Africa is bigger and scarier and fiercer.
Yeah, so like the queen worm it dwarfs everything that we've had. But yes, I really enjoy the movies. He didn't like the fourth one for some reason until yesterday.
I think I actually did like it, and then I convinced myself it wasn't as great because, you don't see something for a long time, and you just read the internet, and the internet's like, eh.
This is the same guy who didn't like Terminator 3.
Yeah.
I did. It was stupid. I'm not going to say it was like a masterpiece, but I still liked it.
So I relearned how to enjoy movies.
Yep. We can't enjoy Star Trek Discovery, but we can enjoy campy B movies.
I'd like to try and find a good way to defend that, other than I like campy things and things that are fun.
Which is probably why we like the original Star Trek. So.
Or Bruce Campbell.
And Bruce Campbell.
He's campy and fun.
Very much so. And why you like Weird Al.
Yeah, campy and fun.
But, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Just I really enjoy the first movie because it has that small town feel that I, growing up on a base, never really got. She grew up in a pseudo small town of like 200 people, which isn't quite small enough since I think Perfection has a population of 14 or 15 in this movie.
14. But the first time I saw this movie, I was a kid, and I was having a joint birthday party, and I went to go spend the night at my cousin's house, and her parents let us watch it, and then the next day we were overturning stones and we were finding slugs, and then I was just convinced that I was going to be eaten.
Whereas I saw the second movie first when I was like 10 or so. My dad was just like, hey, you haven't seen the Tremors movies, right? You should watch this. I'm like, so do I need to watch the first one first? Like, no, that's fine.
Yeah, you don't really have to. They recap.
Yes, so I enjoyed that. And then a couple years later, I saw the first Tremors movie and loved it. And Tremors 3, I was reading about on the internet and hoping it would come out, and finally just kind of gave up hope in the early 2000s. And then it came out in 2003 finally, and one of my friends told me about it, and he was like, yeah, they evolve into ass blasters. And I didn't believe him because that sounded stupid.
It does sound stupid, but it's a thing.
I'm like, that can't be real. And then eventually I saw it on, I think Sci-Fi Channel had it on.
Because the monster combines acids in its stomach and intestines and uses that to launch places. So, and then it has glidey wings like a sugar glider. So once it's up, it can like swoop around, and it's weird.
Yeah, it's just cool, fun monster movies with fun people.
Yeah. And the fifth one is probably my least favorite, but I would still probably watch it again.
Yeah.
But
did have a lot of Burt Gummer in it.
Did have a lot of Burt. And they always bring up, each movie references the ones before it. Either, like, with direct lines or bringing up a plot. So, like, Burt had a wife, and in the second movie, he says that she left him and took his gun. Or this one gun, and then in the
HK-91 or something like that.
And then in the fifth movie, he gets that gun from someone else, and he's like, "Yay!" So if you follow the movies, then you catch up. The only thing I didn't like about the fifth movie is they had a near shot-for-shot scene of the Jurassic Park kitchen thing.
For no reason.
And everyone, the thing I was seeing was like, "Oh, it was such a great nod to it." It's like, no, it was a direct ripoff, and I did not appreciate it. But otherwise, it was okay. Like, it even had their, like, toes clicking on the floor. Like, the reflection off the knives. The difference is, instead of being clever and opening doors with their hands, they just burst through it.
And luckily, the scared children had guns.
Well, one was a child, and she did not have a gun.
Yeah, I know.
But that is what I think of Tremors.
Highly recommended.
Yes. All the thumbs ups. Watch it. Ignore the cat. Watch it. Is that it?
I think so.
Okay.
Bye, people.
Bye.